Hello and welcome to TreeWalker Talks, episode 87, Exploring New Horizons. Almost got it wrong there. Okay, so we'll start off with the homestead update. Still sick. Not horrible, but brain fog, lack of energy, went to sleep all day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The sinuses, allergies, body aches, that sort of stuff, And I am sitting here at my desk, and it is Saturday, July 20th, 2024. It is 4:50 p.m. So again, a little bit earlier in the weekend. I like this because everybody's gone except for me and the puppy dogs, and it's easier for me to record. You may hear me clear my throat. I'll try to cut them out, but I'm sorry if I don't get them all. You may hear the dog chewing her bone. The puppy's doing that. And she goes Monday to get spayed, so that should be a fun week. The other dogs, everybody's pretty much laying around just relaxing. Okay, so what got done on the homestead? I need a drink, so let me pause her. There, I shared that with you. Okay, I did some things during the week and a few things today. During the week, I did get those garlic bulbs in. Some of them a little bit older than what I liked. They'll turn into mints or be used right away. But I did, out of those 2 rows I planted, I don't know how many I planted. I mean, I'm guessing I know because of the amount I harvested, but it was only maybe 4 heads, 4 complete bulbs, and I ended up with 107 bulbs of garlic, and probably maybe 10% were small. A couple were expanded because took too long. Watching the puppy because she's chewing a small bone, she's almost got done. But all in all, they were pretty good, and they were big. It's the music garlic, and this is the 2nd season on my homestead. So these came from cloves that I grew last year. And I am hardening those off out on the back porch. So they shouldn't get rain. They're in the shade, but there's a nice breeze. They're on racks. So hopefully they'll dry out. There was a coughing fit. Okay, so hopefully they'll dry out. And I'm looking at replacing those beds, and I can't remember how long they are. I've told you before, but they're falling apart. It's the wood. It's been out there for, 7 years, 6 years, something like that. That's pretty good on free standard non-treated wood, huh? But I am looking. I'll let you know how it works out. I'm going to order one here, as soon as I have extra cash, which really isn't right now. But I will order some it's a 12-foot by 2-foot wide by 1 foot tall galvanized steel bed. And I'm pretty sure those are like 18 or 19 foot. I can't remember. So there'll be extra room left over. But if the first one I put in looks good, it looks sturdy, definitely going to order at least one more to get it here before garlic planting. And I'll kind of push all that dirt that's in the one now together so it'll fit. This will fit around it. And we'll have new beds. And if it works great, then at the end of the season, we'll place the other 2 with the same, and then we'll see what we have on the end, and we might go ahead and start adding a couple more, maybe like 4x4 by 1 foot beds, because I think there might be enough room that'd be like 16 foot, and still give room in between. Need room in between, though, because I noticed it's getting a little hard to get the wheelbarrow back and forth in between the rows, and I want that cleared so that, you can get in there to add mulch, add leaves, add dirt, add compost, whatever it is you need to do. Okay, and I can verify this because I went out today, but the green beans are on. I got, not a whole lot, and like I said, this is just the first go at, and I was surprised that they were ready already, and I'm going to plant more because I'm not getting the best from the bush ones. Only about half of them came up, so I've got more. I actually have them right here. I ordered the Blue Lake 274 bush beans, Phaseolus vulgaris. Early abundant yields of plump, tender heirloom beans all season long. Non-GMO, open pollinated, and heirloom. And I got these from the Seed Geeks on Etsy. So it's 50 days to harvest. So what is it? July, August, so September 20th they should be coming out, and I should still have plenty of warm weather then. And I think they'll be good before that, but we'll see, because it's warmer out, so they should go quicker. The cucumbers, man, they're on good. Tried something new, worked out great, so I'll share it with you. Cucumbers are on. When I was growing up, my grandma made refrigerator pickles. And I might have mentioned this last week. I don't remember if I did or not. I might have, but she used to freeze them. And they were great. And I learned that you could do that with any refrigerator pickles. So the ones I have were kind of the same flavor as hers, so I went ahead and froze some of them up, popped them out, and I know I didn't tell you how it worked. They came out, they were a little bit darker green than when they went in, a little bit. I mean, it's probably cell explosion, from being frozen. But the pickles, the cucumbers, were just as crispy as when they went in. The flavor was great. Everything was good. The onions, a little less crispy than when they went in. They were still good. I mean, I loved them. They still had the flavor. So, now while the cucumbers are abundant, I have probably 2 shopping bags full of them right now. And I stopped and got more vinegar and celery seed. And that's actually in my cookbook if you want the recipe. If you want to message me, I'll give you the recipe too. You don't have to buy the cookbook. Got that going. Sorry for clearing my throat there. We're going to make a bunch of those up and freeze them up. And then we can have them all season long. You got to make hay when the sun shines, right? Let's see, what else is going on out there? The tomato plants I planted, I kind of went lax on those this year. I won't lie. I didn't get a lot of them that I started out there. Majority of what actually is growing out there were volunteers. And I took them from other spots and put them there. And I think that worked well. I also, since they didn't look super, the ones I started, I think it was $2.99 for a flat of 6 or 8 of them. I got some Roma tomatoes, I do believe is what they were. And at that price, and I got them at Menards. I don't know if everybody has Menards around them, but I got them at Menards. And at that price, $3. I can't start my own seeds and put the electricity into it and do that to get the plants. So that's something to think about. And you have to kind of look at things like that when you're on your homestead. Is it worth my time and money, or can I just go buy them? Now, I do believe that you should know how to start them in case you need to. And I would save seeds every year, and I would buy heirloom ones. These are all, the Romas are heirloom. So you can save the seeds and it'll be okay. That way, if you have to, you can start them. So that's just kind of a look at that. The one thing I realized when I was out there, I did not plant any jalapenos this year. How could I have overlooked that? I was kind of hoping that some would come up volunteer, and they never did. So we don't have jalapenos, so I'll have to do a trade with somebody who's got a bumper crop of jalapenos to make some green jalapeno juice, the hot sauce. Speaking of hot sauce, I did get the first 2, I think it was 2 Hungarian hot peppers, and they're off. They are red when they're ready to be picked, and I only had, I think, 2 that turned red, and they have quite a few on there that are yellow, so we should get a pretty good amount of those. Not sure what I'm going to do with those yet. Maybe just make some hot sauce. We'll have to see. All right, another coughing fit there. Guess I'm not used to talking this much. You probably hear my voice that I'm not 100%, but so I might get a lot more ums as I'm trying to think of things, because we're on to where I don't have anything wrote down for the homestead update. The other thing was I got probably 4 or 5 red cayenne peppers, which will be good. I want to kind of use those for some things too. Just watching the dog. She's making some weird faces, the little one. Let me pause you and close this door. Okay, the door I closed was actually the kennel door, because Raya, the puppy, the Springer, likes to keep her stuff in there. And one of the other ones, Hazel, the Cavapoo, was trying to go in and take some of her stuff. And she's staring at me now because I said her name. Hi, cutie. Okay, so we have the cayenne peppers. We're going to do some things with that. And if I don't get a lot of tomatoes this year, I actually have a farmer's market that sell them really cheap. I mean, they just have, right now they're pretty expensive, and they sell them in small groups. But as they come on later in the season here, and they get bunches of them, they sell them by the bushel. So we might just have to buy some from the bushel to give us some. And that was kind of one of the plans. If I didn't have as many tomatoes, we could do that. Since I got that new huge roaster thing to make the sauce in. Anything else out there? Boy, trying to remember what I planted there. Well, let me look at the sheet. I got it right here in front of me. The Tromboncino squash and the Cucuza squash are actually climbing up the trellis awesome. Oh, that's what else I wanted to say. And Calypso beans, they're doing pretty good too. I thought they were bush beans. It looks like they're actually vining beans, so we'll go with that. But the trellis, let me tell you, that trellis, it's not 100% the way I envisioned it, but parts of it are even better. So none of the sugar snap peas came up, which that's okay. I'll probably sprout some as we get in cooler weather and go ahead and replant them and see if we can't get some fall and winter. Sorry, head's starting to bother me a little bit. That's okay. We'll press on. Okay, sorry about that. Train of thought lost there for a second. I had to go. The one dog had the other dog's bone, and they weren't happy about it. Okay, the trellis. So, those didn't come up. The loofah sponge, I don't think those came up. I'm looking. It's possible, but I don't think so. I have never had luck with those loofahs. But we have cucumbers on one end. We have, and I don't write it down, so I have no clue what kind of green beans they are. But we've got beans growing up on the middle, and then the squash on the outsides. And they're all doing pretty good. The one side that had the loofah, that's where I think the loofahs were, nothing came up. So, but the beans, the neat thing is the beans and the cucumbers have kind of intermingled. And I'll try to get a picture up here of it. So I have cucumbers growing, and then like clumps of beans right next to them vining. And it's pretty. You're going to have the dogs playing now because the one's kind of wound up. But it's just pretty. Like I said, I have a picture of it. So hopefully I'll get that up and you can see it. But it's just amazing to me that you have two different things growing together like that, and it looks really neat. Okay, I'll try to not get the dog squawking if the other dog gets on them, but Raya, the youngest, has decided she has the zoomies, so we'll see. Okay, now on to the next section, Market Monitor. So again, most of these are the store brands. If they aren't the store brands, then I'll let you know. Bread, and this is all Myers. I don't know, most places have Myers, I think. I'm not sure down south. I know Kentucky, I've been down there to Myers. Pretty sure they had them in Florida, but not 100% positive. Their bread for split top white was $1.95. Milk was $2.67 a gallon for 2% or whole. I drink the whole milk. Ground beef was for an 80-20 was a whopping $5.69 a pound. Sirloin steak was $11.99 a pound. Whole store brand chickens were $1.19 a pound. Chicken drumsticks were 99 cents a pound. Skinless, boneless chicken breasts were $2.29 a pound. Pork loin was $2.99 a pound. Pork chops, $3.49 a pound. So why would you take the pork chops or the pork loin? I don't know. I would just cut the pork loin and make pork chops out of it. Bag of beans for a 16-ounce bag of kidney beans was $2.15. The 2x4x8 at Lowe's was $3.36. That was just for a normal, non-treated. And gas for regular was $3.29 a gallon, except for it just went up today as I went up to get gas, and it's actually up to $3.43 a gallon. Yeah, great. Okay, the next section, gathering guide for the next month. No one's contacted me. Didn't see anything new, so there's no new additions to that. All right, let's jump into the Liberty Alert, our news section. It was hard to find anything this week, and I found one last ditch thing here, so we'll cover it. Just kind of something in the news. And it's about the Libertarian Party. They have launched a bold and provocative campaign under the slogan, Become Ungovernable. This initiative is not just a call to resist government overreach, but also a philosophical stance advocating for self-governance and personal responsibility. I push that. I push for it. I'm not 100% with the Libertarian Party, like a lot of their thoughts, but some things I don't go with. Okay, and at the heart of this, the Become Ungovernable campaign is about mental freedom. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining autonomy over one's mind and resisting external control. This idea resonates deeply with libertarian principles, which prioritize minimal government interference and maximum personal liberty. And that's true. I do have paper, remember? I write these things out during the week, so then I can just get them out now. And hopefully this isn't too loud. It's looking like it's spiking a lot. We'll try to get that down a little bit. Let me see about the gain there. Let's turn it just a little bit. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay, the campaign draws inspiration from historical and philosophical traditions. Figures like René Descartes, who famously said, "I think, therefore I am." And I probably murdered that name, but it's okay. And it highlights the primacy of the mind in determining reality. The campaign encourages individuals to adopt a mindset of self-governance, where critical thinking and personal responsibility are paramount. The campaign has gained significant traction through social media, merchandise, and public events. Products like shirts, posters, and flags bearing the "Become Ungovernable" slogan are popular among supporters. Yeah, I might have to get me one of those shirts. These items serve as symbols of resistance against tyranny and a commitment to personal freedom. In states like New Hampshire, the campaign has become part of a broader libertarian efforts to influence political discourse. The Free State Project, for example, aims to transform New Hampshire into a hub of liberty-minded activism by encouraging libertarians to relocate there. This movement has seen some success, with several libertarians being elected to the state legislature and implementing policies aligned with their principles. A little bit of a drink here. However, the campaign has not been without controversy. Within the Libertarian Party, there are differing opinions on the campaign's radical approach. Some members worry that the aggressive rhetoric could alienate potential supporters and harm the party's public image. I doubt that. This internal conflict is particularly evident in New Hampshire, where provocative statements by party members have led to accusations of a hostile takeover by more extreme factions. Externally, the campaign has received mixed reactions. While it resonates with those who value personal freedom and distrust government authority, others criticize it for potentially inciting disorder and undermining social cohesion. Of course they would. Anything that, questions what they want you to do is bad, right? The challenge for the Libertarian Party will be to balance these concerns while staying true to their core principles of liberty and self-governance. The Become Ungovernable campaign represents a significant and thought-provoking effort by the Libertarian Party to promote personal liberty and resistance against government overreach. As the campaign evolves, it will be interesting to see how it influences the broader political landscape and the ongoing debates about freedom and governance. I think, when I look at it, I don't think I'm really libertarian anymore. I used to claim that. I like the agorist kind of look of things, which you could be libertarian and agorist, kind of, but that's another podcast episode. We're already at 18 minutes, and we're not even to the main topic yet. So we'll talk more about agorism and that on another one, maybe next week. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, now for our rooted conversations, the main topic. Exploring new horizons, ... on your homestead. So today we're diving in the exciting world of trying new things on the homestead while also enhancing the practices that are already working for you. Whether it's introducing new plants, adopting innovative practices, or adding new animals to your homestead, there's always room to grow and improve. Let's chat about some of the practical tips and ideas that can make your homesteading journey even more rewarding. Okay, my first bullet. For new plants to consider. Perennial plants. Perennial plants are a fantastic investment for any homestead garden. Unlike annuals, which need to be replanted each year, perennials come back season after season, offering continuous harvests with less labor. Before we get into choices, I would tell you this is one where I'm lacking. I need to get more of these out there. I mean, I do have some of these. Comfrey's not one of them that's on there, but that's important. I'm not giving medical advice, but important for first aid on your homestead, as we've chatted about before. Okay, and I know they're not plants, but I do have trees out there. I've got my apple trees. I started some pear trees this year. I just really need more land to put all this stuff on. I could actually, by how well these have done so far, I could have a pear orchard in no time started. So, just need that land. But that's not what we're talking about right now. So some of the top choices. And this is one I want to plant, but every time I plant it, it seems like I move. And that's asparagus. I get a little bit from my dad right now, but not much. I have canned it before, so in the middle of winter, it's nice to open that can up and have maybe a little cream asparagus over bun or rolls or something. But once established, asparagus can produce for up to 20 years. It requires minimal maintenance and can be harvested every spring. Except for like if you're planting it by seed, I think it's 3 years. Roots, I think it's 2. So just so you know, it's not going to like start producing right away. Here's another one. I don't use it that much. But if I had it, I think I might use it more for jellies and pies and stuff, is rhubarb. And it's known for its tart stalks. Rhubarb is another perennial that can thrive for many years. It's great for pies, jams, and sauces. Berry bushes. Raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries are perennial bushes that you can yield bountiful harvests. They require some initial care and pruning, but will reward you with delicious fruit for years to come. Okay, blueberries sometimes can be a pain to keep going because they're kind of picky on some of their stuff. But like blackberries and raspberries, once you get those started, try to get them to stop. But you don't only get berries from them, you can save their leaves, that sort of stuff. So, that's pretty awesome too. Okay, next bullet point is an herb garden. A windowsill herb garden is a simple yet effective way to enhance your culinary endeavors. Growing herbs indoors ensures they are easily accessible and well protected from outdoor elements. Some essential herbs to consider are, and before we get to that, I've done that with the sage this year. This coming year, I plan on splitting it up a little bit more and doing quite a few different kinds and maybe even selling some of them. Okay, so one of my favorites, basil. Perfect for Italian dishes. It's easy to grow and thrives in sunlight. Mint, which I actually just got chocolate mint and apple mint. And the apple mint's doing okay. The chocolate mint's doing better. It's a versatile herb, can be used in drinks, desserts, and savory dishes. Mint is hardy and spreads quickly, so it's best kept in a pot. Rosemary. I have not ever had good luck with rosemary, but the aromatic herb is great for roasts and soups. It's drought tolerant and can thrive with minimal water. I want to add to this list, I only had 3. Sage. A friend at work, Kamal, he got a lot of the fresh sage from me, in which I just tore apart, so I'm not going to have any for a little while. And he made teas with it and stuff, and just loved it. So that's another one I would throw on there. I mean, you could keep adding more. Next bullet point would be edible flowers. I don't really have any of these. I'm not huge on that. I do have the Rose of Sharon. I don't know if you eat those or not. I haven't looked into it too much, but edible flowers can add a touch of beauty and a burst of flavor to your meals. They can be used as garnishes or ingredients in a variety of dishes. Nasturtiums. Vibrant flowers have a peppery taste and are excellent in salads. Violets. With their mild, sweet flavor, violets can be used in desserts and as garnishes. Calendula. Also known as pot marigold. Calendula petals add color and slightly tangy flavor to soups and salads. Next bullet point is tea and coffee plants. Coffee, I don't know how good that is, but because it takes a lot to make coffee. But teas you can do pretty easily. Growing your own tea and coffee can be a delightful addition to your homestead. While coffee plants thrive in tropical climates, they can also be grown indoors with proper care. And I have to flip pages for my next bullet points. Tea plants. Camellia sinensis. Yeah. These can be grown in pots or gardens and pruned to a manageable size. They prefer acidic soil and partial shade. Coffee plants. These need warm temperatures and indirect light. Growing coffee indoors allows you to control the environment and ensure the plants thrive. Like I said, the coffee, it takes a lot to make a cup. A lot of plants. So that's something to think about. Next bullet point in this section is mushrooms. They are a unique addition to any homestead. It can be grown and controlled in pretty much any controlled environment. Like oyster mushrooms. These are among the easiest to grow and can be cultivated on a variety of substrates, including straw and sawdust. Shiitake mushrooms. They are traditionally grown on logs and are highly prized for their flavor and nutritional benefits. Now let's look at some innovative practices you can do in your homestead, like aquaponics and hydroponics. We'll separate both of those. But aquaponics and hydroponics are innovative gardening techniques that can revolutionize how you grow your food on your homestead. These methods are particularly useful for maximizing space and efficiency. So aquaponics. This system combines agriculture, like raising fish, with hydroponics, growing plants in water. Fish waste provides nutrients for the plants, which in turn filter and clean the water that is recirculated back to the fish tanks. The symbiotic relationship allows for efficient use of resources and can be set up indoors or outdoors. It is a sustainable and productive method, particularly beneficial in areas with poor soil quality. Like let's say the high desert. I've seen a lot of videos on that, or out in the desert. As long as you can get water there and keep it from evaporating, these are great. Hydroponics, and this is what I've been doing mainly. This method involves growing plants in a nutrient-rich water solution without soil. Hydroponic systems can be set up vertically, making them ideal for small spaces. These techniques allow for faster plant growth and higher yields. It also reduces the need for pesticides and herbicides since the plants are not grown in soil. Next bullet point, greenhouses and shade houses. Greenhouses and shade houses can significantly extend your growing season and protect your plants from extreme weather conditions. Greenhouses, their structures come in various sizes and can be tailored fit to your space. By creating a controlled environment, greenhouses allow you to start seeds earlier in the season, grow plants that would not normally survive in your climate, and protect your crops from pests and disease. Greenhouses can be heated for winter growing or vented for summer cooling. Shade houses. In hot climates, a shade house can be more beneficial than a traditional greenhouse. Shade houses use shade cloth to reduce the intensity of sunlight, protecting plants from scorching and dehydration. This is particularly useful for delicate plants and during the hottest parts of the year, which is kind of what I'd like to switch and put some shade cloth up on mine. But I also have an idea. I might be kind of really ripping things up this fall. We'll get more into that another time, and if I decide to do it. Next bullet point is rainwater collection. Collecting rainwater is a sustainable practice that helps conserve water and reduces your reliance on municipal water supplies. I haven't got into this too much. I'd like to, but I also have a well, so I don't actually have to go on to use the city water. We have city water in the house, but this house used to have a well. It still operates. I use that for planting, watering animals, that sort of stuff. Rain barrels. Simple and cost-effective, rain barrels collect runoff from your roof, which can then be used to water your garden. Or, use it in hydroponics. This not only saves water, but also reduces your water bill. Or electric bill if you're pumping it up. Rainwater harvesting systems. More advanced systems can include large cisterns and filtration units, allowing you to store and use rainwater for various household needs, such as irrigation, flushing toilets, and even potable water with proper treatment. The next one is composting. Composting is a cornerstone of sustainable homesteading, turning kitchen scraps and garden waste into rich, fertile soil. Can also use, yard waste, that sort. Anything that could be a waste, you can use in there. Traditional composting. Creating a compost pile or bin involves layering organic materials such as vegetable scraps, leaves, and grass clippings. Regular turning and proper moisture levels help break down the material into nutrient-rich compost. Worm composting, or vermicomposting. This method uses worms to speed up the composting process. Worms consume organic waste and produce castings, which are an excellent fertilizer for your garden. Vermicomposting is ideal for small bases and even can be done indoors. Plus, if you keep it going, you have worms to go fishing, right? Okay, the next one is beekeeping. Keeping bees on your homestead not only provides you with honey, but also enhances pollination for your plants. This is something I've been wanting to get into. My sister got me a beehive set for Christmas, but where I live now doesn't work out that good because I got neighbors on either side and I don't think they want bees, but that will be something in the future. And not only just for the honey, even if I don't get too much honey from it, then I've got my own pollinators. Starting a beehive. Beekeeping requires some initial investment in equipment and education. Joining a local beekeeping association can provide valuable support and resources. Beekeeping improves the productivity of your garden and can also generate additional income through the sale of honey and beeswax products. Now let's go into the next topic, which is possible new animals on your homestead. Chickens. Do you have chickens? Do you want chickens? Chickens are often the first choice for many new homesteaders due to the versatility and ease of care. They provide fresh eggs, meat, and natural pest control for your garden. And remember, just because you live in the city, a lot of cities allow you to have a certain number without roosters, but I get away with it for now. And what you get from the chickens: egg production. Different breeds offer varying egg production rates, with some laying daily. Chickens like Rhode Island Reds, Leghorns, and Australorps are known for their high egg production. Meat production. Breeds such as Cornish Cross and Jersey Giants And red riders are excellent for meat production. They grow quickly and provide a substantial amount of meat. Pest control. Chickens help keep the bug population down by foraging for insects, which also supplements their diet. We kind of crossed this but with the last section, but bees is the next one. And beekeeping can be highly rewarding, providing you with honey, beeswax, and improved pollination for your garden plants. Honey production. Honey is a natural sweetener and has numerous health benefits. Beekeeping can yield significant amounts of honey depending on the number of hives and local flora. Pollination. Bees are essential pollinators, enhancing the productivity of your fruit and vegetable plants. This leads to better yields and healthier plants. Beeswax and other products. Beeswax can be used to make candles, lip balms, and other household products. Next animal, quail. You know I've had them. Thought about getting them again. Right now is not the right time, though. Quail are small. They're easy to manage and can be kept in limited space, making them ideal for urban and rural homesteads alike. Eggs and meat. Quail eggs are considered a delicacy and are packed with nutrients. They can start laying eggs as early as 6 weeks old. Quail meat is tender and flavorful. And at like 6 to 8 weeks, they're ready to be harvested for meat too. Very quick. Space efficient. Quail require less space than chickens, and their cages can be stacked vertically to maximize space. Fast growth, kind of like I just mentioned. Quail grow quickly, allowing for rapid turnover if raising them for meat. Let me tell you one thing about the quail. I smoked their hearts until they were cooked and done, and man, that was like candy. It was awesome. Rabbits. Now, as you all know, I just kind of got out of rabbits. If I had more land in that, and not saying I'm not going to here again, I would get back into them because at that point, they are a great homestead animal. But for me right now, I'm going more on chicken because people here will eat chicken. They won't eat rabbit. But rabbits are an excellent addition to the homestead, providing meat and valuable manure for your garden. Meat production. Rabbit meat is lean, high in protein, and efficient to produce. Breeds like New Zealand and Californian are popular for meat production. Manure. That beautiful poop. Rabbit manure is an excellent fertilizer. It can be applied directly to the garden without composting, providing a rich source of nutrients for your plants. Small space needs. Rabbits don't require much space and be kept in hutches or rabbit tractors that allow them to graze and fertilize different areas of your yard. And you can get away with raising them in most cities. Sheep. Sheep can be a valuable addition for their wool, meat, and ability to graze on weeds, grass, and maintaining your landscape. Wool production. Breeds like Merino and Shetland are known for their high-quality wool, which can be spun into yarn for various crafts and clothing. Meat production. Sheep breeds such as Dorset and Suffolk are great for meat production, providing a rich source of lamb and mutton. Land management. Sheep are natural grazers and can help manage your pasture, reducing the need for mowing and controlling weed growth. Goats. Goats are incredibly versatile, providing milk, meat, and even weed control. Milk production. Dairy breeds like Nubian and Alpine. I think they skipped one here because I think the best milk production that you'll get is the Dwarven Nigerian dwarf. Sorry. Like I said, my brain's not all there. Because they have the best tasting milk but they produce high quality milk, which can be used to make cheese, yogurt, and soap. Meat production. Breeds like Boer, Boer, B-O-E-R, yeah, and Kiko are popular for their meat, known for being lean and nutritious. Brush control. Goats are excellent for clearing brush and invasive plants, helping to maintain your land naturally. Next one we know we love, it's ducks. Ducks are another great addition, offering eggs, meat, and natural pest control. Eggs and meat. Duck eggs are larger and richer than chicken eggs. Ducks like Peking and Khaki Campbell are excellent for both egg and meat production. Pest control. Ducks love to eat slugs, snails, and other pests, making them valuable allies in your garden. Adaptability. Ducks can thrive in a variety of environments and are generally hardy animals. Y'all know I have Muscovy ducks. Turkeys. Turkeys can be raised for the meat and are a good option for homesteaders with enough space. Meat production. Turkeys provide a large amount of meat, and breeds like broad-breasted white and heritage turkeys are very popular choices. Eggs. While not as prolific as chickens, turkey eggs are large and can be used in baking and cooking. Land management. Turkeys can help control insects and weeds, making them beneficial for land management. And they like to kill themselves, so when they're young, don't feel bad if you get some and they pass away. That's just them. They'll drown themselves looking up at the sky, okay? Next section is enhancing current practices, because you can't just work on new things, you got to work on the things you're doing now, which includes composting. Composting is an essential practice for any homestead, as we covered before, but here are some tips to optimize your composting process. Make sure you're balancing the greens and the browns. Ensure your compost has the right balance of green, which is nitrogen-rich materials like kitchen scraps and grass clippings, and brown, which is carbon-rich materials like leaves and straw. This balance helps the compost break down efficiently. Aeration. Regularly turn your compost pile to introduce oxygen, which speeds up the decomposition process. Consider using a compost tumbler for easier turning, or use chickens. Really, if you have 2 spots for them to go, if you have them in runs, use that spot to throw your scraps in that, and they'll turn it for you and everything. You may have to water it down a little bit, but moisture control. Keep your compost moist, but not soggy. Should feel like a wrung out sponge. If it's too dry, add water. If it's too wet, well, add more browns. And I don't mean the Cleveland. Next one, seed saving. Saving seeds from your best performing plants ensures a continuous supply of adapted and resilient seeds for future planting seasons. Select the best plants. Choose seeds from plants that have thrived the most in your specific conditions. This ensures the future generations of plants will be well suited to your environment. Proper drying and storage. After harvesting seeds, dry them thoroughly and store them in a cool, dark place in airtight containers. Label them with the date and variety to keep track of your seed inventory. Learn about plant varieties. Some plants, like tomatoes and beans, are easier to save seeds from than others. Research the best practices for each type of plant you grow. Seasonal planting. Optimize your planting schedule to match the seasons, and it can maximize your harvest and ensure a continuous supply of fresh produce. Plan for successful planting. Plant crops in succession to have continuous harvest throughout the growing season. For example, plant radishes, then follow with carrots, and then finish with a cover crop. Speaking of that, where my kale was and got eaten up, the really big one, I just planted a bunch of daikon radishes. Don't know if we're going to eat them or if we're just going to use them for breaking up the ground and kind of making it work, but that's what we're doing. I'll keep you posted. Use cold frames and row covers. Extend your growing season by protecting early and late season crops with cold frames or row covers. These simple structures can protect plants from frost and allow you to start planting earlier in the spring and continue later into the fall. Rotate crops. Practice crop rotation to prevent soil depletion and reduce pest and disease problems. Rotate families of plants, such as moving legumes to where you previously planted tomatoes. Next one is watering techniques. Efficient watering techniques can conserve water and ensure your plants receive the right amount of moisture. Drip irrigation. Installing a drip irrigation system to deliver the water directly to the plant roots, reducing evaporation and water waste. This system is highly efficient and can be automated to save time. Mulching. Use organic mulches like straw, wood chips, grass clippings, or leaves to retain soil moisture, suppress weeds, and improve soil health. Mulching helps keep the soil cool and reduces the need for frequent watering. Water early or late. Watering your garden early in the morning or late in the evening to minimize evaporation and ensure that more water reaches the plant roots. Soil health. Maintaining and improving soil health is crucial for a productive homestead garden. Soil testing. Conduct regular soil tests to understand its nutrient levels and pH. Based on the result, amend your soil with organic matter, lime, or sulfur to adjust the pH, and fertilizer to replenish nutrients. Cover crops. Plant cover crops like clover, rye, or vetch during off-season. These crops improve soil structure, add organic matter, and fix nitrogen, enhancing soil fertility for future plantings. Livestock management. Proper care and management of livestock can enhance the productivity and well-being. So, like pasture rotation, proper nutrition, and health monitoring are all important. Okay, that's it for the main section. So let's have some final thoughts in here. Embarking on a new journey of homesteading is both challenging and rewarding experience. By exploring new plants, adopting innovative practices, introducing new animals, and enhancing your current methods, you can create a more self-sufficient, productive, and fulfilling homestead. Diving into new plant varieties such as perennials, herbs, and edible flowers can add diversity and resilience to your garden. Perennial plants such as asparagus, rhubarb, and berry bushes offer continuous harvest with less effort. Herb gardens, whether on your windowsill or outdoors, provide fresh flavors for your kitchen and medicinal benefits. Edible flowers like nasturtiums and violets bring beauty and unique taste to your meal. By expanding into tea and coffee plants and even mushrooms, you not only enhance your culinary options, but also enjoy the satisfaction of growing your own beverages and specialty crops. Incorporating aquaponics and hydroponics in your gardening routine can revolutionize your food production. These systems allow for efficient use of space and resources, providing fresh vegetables and fish. Greenhouses and shade houses extend your growing season and protect plants from harsh weather. Collecting rainwater, composting, and beekeeping are sustainable practices that enhance your homestead's productivity. Utilizing solar energy for various tasks can reduce reliance on external power sources, making your homestead more self-sufficient. Adding new animals to your homestead can diversify your resources and improve sustainability. Chickens, bees, quails, rabbits, sheep, goats, ducks, and turkeys each offer unique benefits, from fresh eggs and honey to meat and natural pest control. Managing these animals effectively through practices like pasture rotation and proper nutrition ensure their health and productivity. Starting with one new animal at a time allows you to learn and adapt, gradually expanding your homestead's capabilities. Enhancing your current practices is crucial for maintaining a thriving homestead. Optimizing composting methods, saving seeds, practicing seasonal planting, improving watering techniques, and maintaining soil health are essential steps. Effective livestock management through proper nutrition and health monitoring ensures that your animals contribute positively to your homestead. By continuously refining these practices, you can create a more efficient and productive environment that supports your goals of self-sufficiency and sustainability. Homesteading is not just about the practical aspects of growing food and raising animals. It's about embracing a lifestyle of learning, adaptation, and connection with the land. Every new plant you grow, every innovative practice you adopt, and every animal you care for adds to the richness of your homesteading experience. Remember, start small, be patient, and enjoy the journey. Each step you take towards enhancing your homestead brings you closer to a more sustainable and fulfilling way of life. Embrace the challenges and celebrate the successes. Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand and improve your homestead, there's always something new to learn and experience. Stay curious, be resilient, and keep nurturing your passion for homesteading. Your efforts will not only benefit you and your family, but also contribute to a healthier and more sustainable world. Happy homesteading. Now, my question goes out to you. Do you like the new form of how we do the podcast? Do you like the longer episodes? Do you wish we'd go back to the way it used to be? Let me know. Send me a direct message. Post a comment. This is both released in podcast, on YouTube, and on Rumble. So catch us one of the places and give us a comment, see what you think. And again, thanks for joining me. And stay alive out there and keep on surviving.